Hello everyone, the following is a summary of floods, a natural disaster which is profound information about human strength in facing disasters, and at the same time, a call for solidarity to combat the negative effects of climate change. Now, let's go. In Greece, heavy rainfall flooded the streets, causing cars to float on the road, and even houses were swept away by the flood. Storm Daniel flats houses and roads in central Greece caused authorities to order people's vehicles to limit movement after the devastation caused by the storm. Heavy rain turned roads into rivers. Scene police prohibit vehicles from traveling on these days. The severity of the weather phenomenon includes intense lightning and continuous rain. Daniel has been doing better in western and central Greece since Monday, prompting hundreds of calls to emergency services to pump water. Local media reported that torrential rainfall had moved to flood roads, submerging cars and dragging them into the sea. Strong currents swept away cars like falling leaves in a strong wind. The sound of water hitting the car, the sound of faucets falling, and the noise of objects in the car became chaotic. Cars, despite their sturdiness, were rendered useless against the great force of the current. Cars can contain stories, memories, and sometimes even provide shelter in emergency situations. Severe rainstorms from water caused floods in central Greece, killing a man when a wall collapsed on him. Police banned people from moving during this flood season. Heavy rain devastated the central region and some of its islands, turning streets into floodwaters. Police have imposed a traffic ban in the central town of Volos, the nearby Pylian Mountains, and on the island of Skiathos until the storm tragically subsides. Monsoon rains in Nepal started the most feared floods and natural disasters on June 15, 2021 that caused floods and landslides in many parts of the country, including Manang, one of the famous trekking destinations language. Then, the rainfall will be more intense in the following weeks because of floods and landslides, causing more than 7 people to die, dozens of bridges to be broken, more than 100 houses to collapse, and more than 1,000 families to become homeless. We cannot control natural disasters, but we can be careful and move to a safe place. As more and more floods and landslides occur, all Nepalis living in places at high risk of natural disasters need to move to a safe place as soon as possible. On January 2, 2020, a scariest flood and landslides in Indonesia left at least 26 people dead. Tens of thousands of people were evacuated in the Indonesian capital, Jakarta, amid several heaviest rain in more than 20 years, with more flooding predicted. Authorities said the flood, one of the deadliest in many years, has caused chaos in many parts of the Southeast Asia's largest city, with blocked railway lines and power outages in some areas. Flash floods hit Ellicott City, Maryland in May 2018. Dramatic video shows cars being swept through a downtown street by raging brown water. Local media reported that the swirling water had reached the second wave of flooding of a building. But by 7:30 p.m. by Sunday, most of the water had receded, and rescuers were circling the downtown area to ensure people were evacuated. Local officials said they were heartbroken to see the community devastated again. This devastating flood comes less than 2 years after another devastating flood killed 2 people and caused millions of dollars in damage. Floods cause great damage to people's property as well as people. Prolonged heavy rain has affected strong water flows. Fortunately, the 4 men narrowly escaped the flood after climbing out of the car in a split second when the heavy water swept away the car and trailer. How lucky for them. On July 10, 2021, Shaanxi Province was hit by a torrential rain in the area. The rainfall in the southern mountainous area reached 360 millimeters, causing torrential mountain flooding that killed more than 700 tourists. With their lives at risk when the flood hit, many tourists stood on the terrace of the farmstay and used their cell phones to record videos. There were many people who witnessed their cars being swept away by the flood. A total of more than 100 cars were swept away by the flood. Rainstorms hit Jingdong County in southwestern China's Yunnan province on 2 and 3 July 2016, leaving 107.3 mm of rain from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Heavy rain can lead to flooding when the amount of water suddenly increases, there is insufficient drainage space to handle it, and the water overflows the banks. This can flood streets, homes, and grasslands, posing many safety challenges and consequences for the community. A series of cars and motorbikes were swept away by the current. Authorities are deploying people to respond to the flood. Thanks for your watching. Hope you have time to feel about climate change. Please like, share, and subscribe to get more of our updates every day. Goodbye and see you again.